Hi there, welcome to the latest episode of my 10-minute moan. The topic of this 10-minute moan is a cracker. It's another two SNP MSPs wrapping it. And these two are cabinet ministers. Now this follows up to a video I done just a matter of days ago where the amount of the 62 MSPs that represent the SNP had already declared they would not be standing for a re-election come the next election. And today, we've got another two. And by the way, it's not even 12 o'clock yet. So we might get more even today. So that's 18 out of the 62 that they have already said, no doing this anymore. Now, I fully understand that every election sees some people stepping down for family reasons, health reasons, whatever it is, right? So it's normal that some do it. But this election is 14, 15 months away? And we've already got just under 30% of their MSPs standing down. Now, that figure will not move south in the next 14 months. It's impossible, obviously, right? And it might even, and probably, predictably, go even further north because we've still got 14, 15 months of people to declare or not declare. So where will it end? I don't know, right? But why is it happening? Well, by the way, see Shona Robinson's sort of resignation letter on Twitter today. What a lot of lies in that. I'll come to that in a minute, right? But why is it? Well, there's only two possible reasons. Or it could be a combination of both. There could be an expectation that there will be a massive fall in SNP numbers. So they might not get reinstated. Or it could be the amount that have lost their seats in Westminster, remember there was like 20 odd of them, get the sack, right, are looking for jobs. And if they're higher up the pecking order and more ingrained in the groovy gang than some of the ones that's sitting, then that could be another reason that the figure is so high and increasing all the time. But it could be both those things, that some just don't fancy being defeated in an election, and others might feel they're not going to get to stand because there's somebody in the groovy gang in their constituency that's probably going to stand in their seats. So, but it's fantastic. Now, I need to get you Shona Robinson's thing because this was outrageous, right? She took to Twitter, X, this morning, a couple of hours ago, to tell the world she was standing down. And the thing she put out was just cringeworthy. So she put this, I have some personal news this morning, and then a photograph of this, I don't know what it is, personal statement type thing. Now, I'm not going to read it all because it is total cringe, right? But it's riddled with lies, right? These people probably actually believe the lies, though. Now, they're so contradictory that you need to be a special kind of special to believe this nonsense. And they obviously do. So they're a special breed. It has been a great privilege for me to serve as an SNP MSP since the Scottish Parliament was first reconvened in 1999, and as a Minister and Cabinet Secretary in Government since 2007. After careful consideration and reflection, I have decided that I will not seek re-election at the Scottish Parliament election next year. By the time of the next election, I'll have been an MSP for 27 years, and I believe now is the right time to take some new challenges and contribute to public life in a different way. Right. Now the nonsense starts, right? I am deeply proud of my ministerial contributions and achievements. Overseeing Glasgow's Commonwealth Games in 2014, which isn't bad for a Dundee MSP. Implementing minimum unit pricing, right? This is one of our achievements, right? Implementing minimum unit pricing, the next bit special, a world-leading policy that saved hundreds of lives. Now, see, since the minute unit pricing, what that is, see for people who maybe don't live in Scotland, right, or have been living in the moon, the SNP decided that to curb alcohol deaths, we would put a minimum price on each unit of alcohol. So these cheap, high volume ciders and stuff like that, they went up quite considerably in price. Some of the stronger 45 wines. But this was two things happened, right? I thought Well, all this money they raise, they'll put it into rehabilitation or something, because that makes sense, right? They're taking out this part of the community that, have got drinking issues and drinking these sort of stuff, and they'll put it into care for people with drinking issues. No. You know where the money went? The shopkeepers. They never even collected it, right? So, right, figure that one out. And the last set of figures that came out, alcohol deaths have risen. So this world leading policy that saved hundreds of lives isn't world leading and didn't save any lives because the figures went up. Now this woman gets to write budgets and she can't count, right? She doesn't know the difference between a plus and a minus. The real figure was a plus. She's stating it was a minus. And the other belters, and delivering more than doubling the game-changing Scottish child payment as part of our journey to eradicate child poverty in Scotland. Now this is brilliant, right, because this is mental gymnastics. I've done videos just on this one topic alone, right? SNP told us, not that long ago, that they'd brought 100,000 kids out of poverty with this child payment. It's a couple of quid a week, right? And the figures came out and the child poverty went up, right? Which is bizarre and sort of buggered up their claim. So then what they said was they were taking 100,000 kids out of poverty with these measures that have been in a couple of years now, but the figures went up. And then they started rephrasing it to, we prevented 100,000 more going into poverty, right? So it's just bonkers. It's massive capital letters BS, right? They talk absolute teeth. Now this is a woman who was a deputy leader, right? Second in charge of the Scottish Parliament, delivering stupid things. Like you've no mentioned the deposit return scheme. You forgot about that. Honest to God. And I am particularly proud of steering the Scottish budget through Parliament earlier this year. It's a budget that delivers record funding for the NHS. Now think about that for a minute, right? Everything goes up in value, right? So every year should be a record funding for all your departments because your taxes more, so you spend more, and every single department normally would get an increase in budget. So every single year, if you do the job right, should be record-breaking funding. That should be the norm. That's not an achievement. That's simple mathematics. What was the last bit? There's loads more, right? I wasn't going to cover the whole thing, though. And it delivers record funding to our NHS and local councils. Action to effectively scrap the 2-child cap and restores the universal winter heating payment for every pensioner household. So the local councils, they're getting more money. Yeah, that's because most of them are going up between 7 and 10% in council tax, right? And the reason it's going up is you guys froze it. Remember, Humza turned up at a conference one year and had bugger all to say, so just actually announced off the cuff, without talking to anybody like Cosla and people that might want an input into it, just turned up and went, we're freezing council tax. The councils are like that. How are we meant to live? It might have been wee raises of 1 and 2% that people could have managed, but because you froze it, when it allowed them to unfreeze it, the figures were always going to go up mental. So guess what? They get record-breaking budgets as well, right? It's absolute bollocks. You talk absolute nonsense. And do you know what? Out the 62 of you, I'm scared to put a figure on it, right? Because at the general election, I predicted and would have been over the moon with yous ending up with 20 odd seats in Westminster. He's ended up with 9, right? Now, I know the voting's a bit different up here and with the half the seats are PR splits. It'd probably be more difficult to see as big a smash to your numbers. But my God, what a laugh it'll be if you end up with like 20 or 30, right? So, what is the truth? I don't know. Probably a combination of both things. That they don't fancy getting defeated in an election, so I'll just quietly move to the left, but put out a wee heartwarming letter telling everybody how wonderful I am at the same time, and the fear that the party high-hegians will airdrop all these sacked MPs that lost their jobs in Westminster. It'll be a combination of both, or there's maybe just skint, right? And these MSPs probably seen the lack of investment into the election campaign for Westminster that they think, we've got no money, right? Their numbers are dropping all the time. The money that they've got from Westminster and short money is decimated. It's tens of millions of pounds over the term of the Parliament. So you're in the deep end with the SNP. You'll know all this. You put it all together and probably wee bits of each of those bits of information make you make a decision. Do you know what? Time's up. I'm out of here. And Fiona Hyslop, apparently she's going to look after her grandwin. Right, if you enjoyed this video, you need to do me a favour. The channel really helps when people do a couple of things. Hit the thumbs up, it's dead easy. It's click, done, right? And if you've got a wee bit of extra seconds, write a wee comment in. Those two things really help the algorithm to push it into more people, helps the channel grow, and we're not far off 60,000 subscribers. That's mental. So let's get there quick, and then the next one we'll go and we'll try and get within the year up to 100,000. That would be absolutely mental. You get a wee silver trophy and I can set it up here, right? So if you do those things, be great. And if you've not already done so, please consider hitting the subscribe and the notification button. However, the most important thing of all, as long as you're not some of these crackpot SNP MPs that we've thought to suddenly feel sorry for and think that the bollocks that they're writing in these statements is actually true, all these achievements I've had, well, no you. But
everyone else, have a great day. Cheerio, bye now.